check my hair makeup. Oh, we got loose hairs. Here, I got the ketchup. There you go. Okay. How's placement? Good, good. Oh, that's good right there. Okay, so what am I saying with my intro? Welcome back to the Culture Club. Welcome to. Good call. Good call, Bexy. Well, this I already did a bunch.
But if somebody only watched one and another,
welcome. That's a good idea.
Welcome to the Culture Club.
Okay. Let's get down to the beets. Let's.
You see pro-life, the other one?
I know. I was like, I'm not gonna even circle back on that one. Fuck. Pro-life, probiotics. Anyways. Okay. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Culture Club. Today is Beet Kvass. Beet Kvass. Beet Kvass. However you say it. What the heck is it? Beet Kvass. Kvass itself is a Slavic word for ferment, from what I know, and it's still served to this day on the streets in Eastern Europe. It is known as the energy tonic for, midday slumps after lunch. Get your digestion going. There's enzymes. It is a fermented beverage with beets, obviously, and it's known as like a Red Bull, a natural, healthy, nourishing Red Bull, Slavic Red Bull, I call it sometimes. And so it's one of the easiest ferments to do, super quick and easy. And beets are easy to find. They're local to Alberta. And so we're just going to get to it. We're going to get fizzy with it. It actually doesn't fizz like water kefir, but it is one of the probiotic tonics that I love and recommend. I recommend Beet Kvass in my, herbalist clinical practice for liver health, for more energy. It actually is known to dissolve kidney stones. It is a lacto-fermented beverage, so it's another category than kefir, and an even separate category than kombucha. So here we are. We have some beets I just sourced from the farmer's market. They're last year's beets. Some of them are sprouting already. I can't wait for my beets to grow in my garden. I just planted some. And what I do with all my beets to make Beet Kvass is you can't grate them. You can't stick them in a food processor. You pretty much have to cut them by hand. Just cut them coarsely, about 1 inch cubed, little cubes. And I just cut off sort of like the sprouting end. You probably don't even need to. You could probably throw this right in. But just gave it a little, actually, I don't even wash them. Let's be honest. You can tell they are not washed. They're dry. But the farmers, I trust the farmers. I try to get it as organic as possible, so I know there's no chemicals. There is a lot of nutrients in the skin. So I look for beets that just don't have a lot of, black. Sometimes they have mold or just they've been oxidized and they have black bits. I would just cut those off. But otherwise, I like to use the whole skin, a little bit of dirt on there, totally fine. Throw it in. What happens is while it's bubbling and brewing is the foam on top will be a little brown. I scoop that off. Or I swish it right back into the lactic acid ferment because it is naturally sanitizing more than vinegar. It's going to clean it right up, balance it all out, and you get all your amazing bacterial cultures. And if you have some dirt in there, go for it. It's like a soil-based organism. It's a whole other category of culture. Bring on the culture. Culture Club, right? So I'm looking at this beet and I do cut off the ends and I put it in my compost or feed it to my friends' pigs. I'll have pigs one day. And I just kind of I just nick the little ends. Like I could see it was kind of brown. I don't know if you can see that there, but I just took it off because it looked just a bit dead. And the less brown foam on the top, the better. Less care and swishing throughout the day. This is a 3-day ferment. As it says in Nourishing Traditions, my recipe for traditional foods, and there's a whole fermentation chapter. You can, though, ferment it for longer, and I like a rich beet kvass. So I do 7 to 9 days. Actually, all my ferments, I generally do that. The beet is a faster, beets lend for a faster ferment because of all the sugars in them. So I will just demonstrate here with this one beet. So like I said, I cut off the ends, cut off the little brown bits. If there is mold growing, obviously I would cut that off. But you know, fermentation is so transformative. It would probably just chew it all up. But I've tasted moldy. Mold can get pretty intense and it can grow legs and take right over. So I just, cut it in half, chop it very coarsely. You can see that my 1-inch chunk is not exactly symmetrical, and that's totally okay. And that's a nice small cube, is what I consider a small cube. That will lend for a faster ferment. The smaller the plant bits, the more exposure to the inside and all the fibers in there, the faster the ferment. So if you actually grated these beets or stuck them through a food processor and got them all chipped up, this could create a syrup, and it's gross. So don't do that. Nobody wants a beet syrup. So I have a jar like this. I usually use these. This is actually a 2-liter jar. And I use these. So I would fill it up to about half of beets, and you're going to watch me chop, and we're going to have to do a little speedy. I'm going to cut that out. So this is where we're going to go into like time lapse. Looking goofy. Oh, look at that big one. And all of that, maybe I'll slow it down right here. So this is going to trigger me. So look at that nice big beet, beautiful clear skin, no black. It's not an imperfection. I think it's just a dent. I'm not going to chop that up. I'm just going to take off the ends as small as possible. And that's a hard beet. Okay, this one might be 10 minutes. We're almost at 8. Good thing I'm a fast chopper. Won't over chop that one. Time lapse, put some music, layer some music on top. Bam, bam. I can do that too. Are you impressed? All right, I thought you would be. All right, I'm in character. See, it's funny. Once you do a few videos, I feel the energy. Because I was like, I'm not feeling the energy today, but just have to jump right in, just dive right in. What else are we saying? We're gonna pop right in. Ooh, that was a gross one. Pay attention to your chopping. We're time lapsing. That's okay. No, well, yeah, focus. Beet, 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 beet. Oh, it's hockey. Whew. Workout here. Getting sweaty. Womp. Oh. We are over half. You can even do 3/4. I'm doing this whole bag. Actually, I'm not going to. We're just time lapsing this, right? Yeah, we're time lapsing. Perfect. So there we go. And we're back to, okay, and we're back. Okay, and there you go. That is almost 3/4 of a jar filled up with chunks of beautiful local purple beets. Oh, that's another thing. Don't use red beets, which generally are hard to find anyways. I don't see them very often, especially at the farmer's market. But those are sugar beets, and they're usually saved for, Rogers sugar plantation. So these are the purple beets. You can tell they're just really dark. Red beets are they're very much lighter red. I've used candy cane beets. Those are fine. They have a bit of a higher sugar content, I've noticed. And you might notice that your beet kvass gets, the more sugar, the more fizz with ferments. So I like just a nice still, still kind of watered beet kvass. And this is how you do it. Okay, so we have 3/4 of a jar full of coarsely chopped beets. And then I have some cloves. I love this recipe. It's just a classic. I've done so many different kinds, and maybe we'll go and do another recipe sort of demo with another one. But right now we're just doing beets and clove. So per liter, I generally do about 4 to 6 cloves. And so I'm going to do about 12, and I'm not counting. But that's about 12. There you go. You count. And if your hands aren't purple, you're not doing it right. All right, so we have 12 cloves of beets and salt. So we're almost done here, guys. This is how easy it is. And so I'm just going to make some noise here, 1 teaspoon. So per liter of beet kvass, I generally do a half to a full teaspoon. And for a 2-liter jar like this, I will do 1 teaspoon. So generally the beet kvass, if you've purchased from me before at the Alberta Farmers Markets, you've tasted my beet kvass. It's not overly salty. I love salt, but the recipes you generally find online, it's like 2 tablespoons per liter. I couldn't imagine. I tried that and it was too much for me. So I've just been tapering it down to see what works. And I find half a teaspoon per liter. So we have about 2 liters here. We're doing 1 teaspoon. There you go. There's proof. 1 teaspoon. All right. So bam, that's all you need. I'm using Himalayan salt. I got this from Winners because they have good quality for a better price. And I love Himalayan salt. It's very affordable. I do love Celtic sea salt. And just make sure you're using a real salt that's hasn't been refined, so all the minerals are in there, because the minerals offer the nourishment that's needed to feed all these beautiful microbes. And then from there, we add water. I didn't think of that. Do we have filtered water? Do you have RO on your tap? Oh, right behind us. We're going to go use a Berkey. And pause. I forgot about that. Do it for the brine. Thank you. Gut healing. Perfect. I'm still on the mic. We're just using a Berkey. But I'm going to cut this, obviously. And love. Lots of love. Love myself. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I filled this up with water straight from the Berkey. Whatever filtered water you use. At home, I have an ionizer, Athena water machine. You can watch my water demo, and you can purchase those machines locally. Whoops, don't do that. So put a lid on. So there we go, we are done. People add starter. You can add like a whey or water kefir or kombucha. I would not do kombucha as a starter. But yeah, water kefir, I've never done that. That would kind of get fizzy, and I don't know, a pickled beet drink that's fizzy. Does that sound appetizing to you? Maybe it does. It doesn't to me. So I'm gonna do a nice, still, rich, feels like I'm drinking red wine, but it tastes like beets. Doesn't taste too salty. It has a nice sour, kind of dry red wine feel. The clove add a little bit of, obviously the spice, and there's just that different jazz going on. So it's not too earthy. It kind of adds a sweetness, but like more of a spice, like a chai, obviously, but a clove. And yeah, this one definitely stir. And again, there's not very much salt, but for the first 3 days, I try to shake it and make sure the salt is completely dissolved. If I see foam, I talk about the brown foam forming, shake it up or scoop it off. If you feel like you just don't want that brown foam, it's just, it's that transformative process, and it's self-cleaning. The lactic acid in there will clean it all up, transform it, make it even stronger actually with whatever dirt is showing up in that brown foam. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to let that sit for 7 to 9 days. And voila, we have the fermented, here's Martha Stewart's kitchen here. We have it fully fermented. This is a 9-day. I haven't even burped it. Oh, it's almost fizzy. Hear that? Sometimes my Beet Kvass does get fizzy. I'm not going to lie. This one's, oh, it's just beautiful. So it's very slow, bubbling. See if we can capture that. Oh, yeah, look at how gorgeous that is. Because that's not medicine. I don't know what is. Or what would you call it? Nourishment. The word medicine sounds like we're sick. We're not sick. We're healthy, alive, and thriving. And even more so with this probiotic magic. So what you do from there, so you have basically, it's almost like a tea. Like it's this fermented infusion. What the ferments, the microbes are going in, pulling out all the nutrients from the beets, all the color and the clove, transforming it into this amazing beverage. And you want to filter it. Clip. And you want to filter it. You just filter off the beets and get the juice so you can bottle it and drink it with your friends. So I generally obviously use my sieves. I have a lot of nylon sieves. They're hard to find, but so I kind of cherish mine. And this can be very messy. When I'm letting them sit and ferment, I have some white like dishwasher bins or like a black or a red or a purple towel, just in case, because sometimes, like I've said, the temperature can go off. Maybe you have a red beet mixed in there, some extra sugar. Excuse me. The heat can like speed up the fermentation, and you don't want it to spill over. If you're shaking it every day and you don't have the lid just tight enough, you don't want to stain your counters. My hands will wash off. Counters take a little longer. This cutting board take a little longer. So you just filter it. So the beets are coming off. Oh, there we go. The beets are staying in the sieve. And there's your beautiful purple healing probiotic beet kvass. And so on the first pour, you'd want to leave about 1/4 cup of beet kvass. And then what you do from there, you can extend this even more. So you have your beautiful drink. I'm going to go bottle that, put it in the fridge. It'll sit in the fridge for over a year, but at least a year. 6 months to a year is a good go. As long as your bottle, is full to the top, there's no room for distillation. Watch for yeast flakes. Beets can create yeast flakes, which is think like nutritional yeast, give you more B vitamins. But if the yeasts get out of hand, then they will take over, sort of thing, and then mold can grow on top. So you just want to watch for that. Just shake them all up back into the lactic acid, naturally sanitizing bath. So we're going to go bottle that. It's beautiful. And then fill this up again with water. Don't add anything. So you have your little starter there. That's been fully fermented, right? So you're going to fill this up again with water. Let that brew. Mix it up. You don't even have to. This is literally a second ferment, right? Because you have a starter. It's already started. And so we're going to do a second ferment with that. Fill it up. Let that sit for 7 to 9 days. Do that again, pour it off, and by that time, these beets will be very light colored, maybe even not, but they just don't have any flavor left. Their nutrients have been pulled out by the fermentation transformation process. And I usually just throw them I actually don't feed my pigs for too much fermented food, so I put this in the compost, and it composts really quickly because it's like a starter for the compost. It's fermented. And there you go. And then enjoy your healing, nourishing fermented beet kvass drink. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next time. What the fuck?